Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen, señoras y señores. It is currently 8:54 in the morning. I am running on absolutely no sleep, and it's another beautiful day to make a beautiful cause for you beautiful people with absolutely no sleep. My previous video has been a complete flop with absolutely no engagement, I think. 7 views, 3 of which were yours truly. I honestly don't really mind that right now. I'm mainly just, wanting to pump out videos and just try to improve my quality of, production. Today I want to mark the start of the C programming course, right? This is the first video. I will be teaching you the basics of C, not the basics of programming. This course is for somebody that has programming experience in other languages. However, it will have some basic concepts, so like you could learn from it if you don't have any programming experience. However, I recommend watching something like CS50. It will greatly help you. Right, so this is supposed to be kind of a, what's the word? A preliminary course for the OpenGL course that I plan to make in a few months. So let's get started. Right, see this gorgeous Ferrari in front of us. Right, let's see. So let's make a new project real quick, a new folder. Let's call it like C course day 1. Right. Okay. The actual things that you need for this is, as you can see, I am using Arch Linux, right? X11 with DWM. The dependencies that you will need for C is just, just do sudo pacman -s. We'll obviously do -syu first and then -s. We'll do base devil and we'll do git. Right, this is for Arch Linux. Very, basic stuff. This will get you GCC and it will get you make, right? For macOS, and this is where I'm going to tell you what the course is going to be for. It's going to be for Arch Linux, or Linux in general, and macOS, right? Both using ZSH. These are the 2 programming environments that I use and that I'm comfortable in. And I don't really, care enough to do stuff for Windows. You can find it. You can Google it. But basically everything is the same. The setup would be a bit different here and there, but yeah. For macOS, you need to do xcode -select install. This will install your command line tools. After that, you would install homebrew, and then you would do brew install GCC make git, etc. Right, and I think that you do get GCC and make with the command line tools, right? Today's main purpose is just getting started, showing you the basics of how did I write that? Showing you the basics of the programming language and what such. So this is just, the simplest file, the simplest, I guess you could also kind of, anyways, the simplest C file that you can make, right? You wanna print, you print using printf, couldn't be simpler. Hello, what should I call you? Flowers, coders, code flowers, people, hello world. We'll figure that out later. All right. Can't fucking type. There you go. Okay. So that's, your basic file right there. to stop my sausage fingers from sausaging all over the place. Anyways, so here's your basic file. You compile it with GCC as follows. So you do GCC main.c, the name of the file, -o, and you specify the name of the output file, right? So we'll be using main for the output file. You could name it whatever you want, right? If we ls now, you can see ignore CMake lists for now. And I just noticed that I didn't even cd into day one. Well, screw day one then. Right. So it got output as main, and if you just do that, you can see that right there. You don't have to name it main. You could just name it, I don't know, poop or something. It would be called poop, and if you just do ./poop, it will run poop. So poop, right? However, there are also compilation tags or flags that you can use, right? So you could do GCC, for example, you could do O2 for performance enhancements, right? Make the code more efficient and what such. You could also do -wall or wall for showing you warnings, right? Fluency warnings, and then your file again. So if we do that, you can see it's still, let's get rid of this blue thing. You can see your file right there. Now if we actually want to see the warnings, we can make a simple warning by hopping on in here and making a variable and not using it, for example, right? So if we just do this again, you can see the variable is right there. Another flag is w error, and that will make the warnings as errors, and that will stop the compilation, right? So if you look here, you can see it stopped the compilation and didn't actually go through. So if we do something else here and we do ls, you can see it didn't actually go through. If we get rid of that, however, and we run this again, you can see that test got output. So very nice, very basic stuff. However, you can see that it is a little annoying to just keep typing in GCC -o2 -wall and so such. And that's where make comes in, right? You create something called a make file, written as that or as that, right? I just prefer to do make file like that. And then you can, start using this to just, if you use Linux, you see people just sometimes doing just make or make clean or whatever. Clean or whatever, right? Very nice, very basic, very fast, which is more important. How do we do that? Well, make uses stuff like this, right? You have your target, you have your dependency, and you have your command. What does that mean? Well, let's say we have our target as main.c, right? We have our target and its dependency is main.c, and our command is the command that we have been using, which is GCC. Let's do -o2 warn all main.c -o main, right? This is just our command. This is just make targets, right? It builds, right? But this is obviously not the best practice way of doing that. A better way would be to say, for example, cc equals, let's say GCC, and for example c flags equals o2 and w, and then we simply just replace them by doing this GCC and then doing this $ brackets C flags, and this would again run the same, make targets. Now to not have to specify target, you do this. All is the thing that gets run when you just type make without an actual specified target, and target here is this, right? If I change this to hello, I'd have to change this to hello, right? Very nice. If I just do make now, it just makes. It's very much nicer than the other approach. You can get all fancy schmancy with it however you want. I have another file, another project here that I've been working on. If I show you the make file, you'd probably want to sit down and probably quit. Yeah, you can do the phony stuff if you want. I don't feel like this two-liner that we made needs that, but best practice and all of that. So for the sake of it, we could just do .phony, because that's how you spell it, and then actually don't even fully remember how you do this bit because I don't really often do it. But yeah, you just do all. I think that's all. For the sake of correctness, allow me to just double check this. Yeah, okay, that's how we do it. Wait, full caps. Did I not do full caps? I don't think I did full caps. Nope. I did full caps. Good job, me. Right. Anyways, you can see how this is much faster and much more efficient, and we will be using that for linking libraries and whatnot later on. And after we are done with the C course, with the beginning of the OpenGL course, I will introduce you to another builder, I guess is what you would call it, which is CMake, right? CMake, which allows you to have cross-platform support and whatnot, and it is built over Make, but I prefer to teach you the low-level stuff first, and then we can go to something that runs nicer and is faster. If you look at the CMake.lists thing, you can see it looks nicer, it is nicer, but I prefer to just teach you the basics first and how things work first, and I feel like this I should probably specify the C version that we're using, so you do like std equal 99 or whatever, but yeah, I prefer to learn something from the very basics and then start learning the better options or the faster options or the easier options. That's kind of it, really. It's been like 13 minutes, a nice swift video for you. Next video I'm probably gonna talk to you about variables and arrays and whatnot. After that will probably be loops and if statements, and then after that I'll start talking about pointers, and then after that I'd start talking about some fancy methods in C and stuff like that, memory management and all of that, so we can actually get into the OpenGL course with good understanding. Oh yeah, I changed the battery on the remote. Look, hold on, look.